So the new topic that we are going to discuss today was E-way bill. E-way bill. Okay. Now what is meant by this E-way bill? Any idea about E-way bill? Electronic way bill it was. What is meant by way bill? What is meant by way? The way which you are going. For example, you are transporting goods from one place to another place. In which way you will go? Okay. So from here to go to Bangalore, there are different ways. Okay. Now E-way bill is like whenever any movement of goods is there, no? So from which place to which place the goods are going? From which place to which place the goods are going? So to track that, they have introduced this concept called E-way bill. Earlier in VAT also there is a concept called way bill. Okay, now in GST we are calling it as E-way bill, electronic way bill. So this will be an electronically generated document. Okay, that is the reason why it is called as E-way bill. Okay, right. Like look here. Under this system, a taxpayer prior to movement of goods, via a conveyance would inform each transaction details to the tax department, obtain an acknowledgement number for having this informed, and then use that acknowledgement number as a valid document accompanying the conveyance carrying goods. Now what they are saying in this system, what will happen? Prior to the movement of the conveyance, I will inform the transaction details to the department, and I will take an acknowledgement number, and that acknowledgement number, as a valid document accompanying the conveyance means it will go along with that conveyance. Okay, that acknowledgement number as a valid document, that E-way bill whatever we have generated now, that will be accompanying the conveyance. So that is the reason why whenever department officials or any people intercepted the vehicle in a transit, they will first ask for a document, that is E-way bill they will ask, because what the idea behind E-way bill? The idea behind E-way bill was prior to the movement itself, you have to inform the transaction details to the department, and you have to take an acknowledgement number, and that acknowledgement number should have to accompany your conveyance. That is the idea. Okay, na? The idea is that the taxpayer be made to upload the details of each transaction to a common portal through the internet. So each transaction details taxpayer should have to upload to the common portal through internet. Okay. Once uploaded, the common portal would automatically generate a document. Once uploaded, common portal will automatically generate a document which can be tracked and verified easily by the stakeholder. Okay. So E-way bill provisions are in section 68. Rule 138, Rule 138A, Rule 138B, 138C, 138D and 138D of CGST rules. Section was section 68. Section 68 section deals with it. Rules में Rule 138, Rule 138A, 138B, 138C, 138D deals with it. Okay na? Able to understand? Right. The provisions relating to E-way bill under CGST Act have also been made applicable to IGST Act. Okay, so that's it. Nothing new. All of them are no earlier concepts only. Okay. Look here. What is an way bill? A way bill is a receipt or a document issued by a carrier giving details and instructions relating to the shipment of a consignment of goods, and the details includes name of consignor, consignee, the point of origin of the consignment, its destination and route. Its destination and route. It is a receipt or a document issued by a carrier relating to the shipment or consignment of goods, including the name of the consignor, consignee, point of origin, destination and route. E-way bill is an electronic document generated on the GST portal evidencing movement of goods. So they have given some benefits of E-way bill. So benefits of E-way bill are: first one, physical interface to pave way for digital interface, resulting in elimination of state boundary check post and all. See, earlier from one state you are entering a check post and all, they used to check. Now not required, because they can track your details, because E-way bill once given, no, it will be having some validity. Okay. So that validity points and all we will discuss detailedly. Next one, it will facilitate faster movement. It will improve the turnaround time of trucks. What is meant by turnaround time? Turnaround time. So look, read it completely. It helps in improve the turnaround time of trucks and help the logistic industry by increasing the average distances traveled, reducing the travel time as well as cost. See, if you are now, because of introduction of E-way bill, the movement of goods or the delivery of goods will become faster or not. The movement of the goods becomes faster means, okay, it will reduce the what to say, it will increase the average distance traveled. Yes or no? Increasing the average distance traveled. Okay, now turnaround time means for one consignment how much time I am taking to unload and I am taking to get back. Turnaround time means now one consignment I have loaded, now within how much time I have unloaded and away again I am available for another consignment. Okay, now that we will call it as turnaround time. Okay. So E-way bill is generated electronically in a form called GST EWB01. There is a form called EW. EW means E-way bill. E-way bill, they are calling it as a short form EWB01 on the common portal. Okay, na? Trans-in or transporter ID is a unique number generated by EWB system for unregistered transporter once he enrolls on the system, which is similar to GSTN format and is based on state code. This trans-in or transporter ID can be shared by the transporter with his clients who may enter this number while generating E-way bills for assigning goods to him for transportation. Now what they are saying, see, if a person is engaged exclusively in making RCM supplies, is he liable to take registration? No. Now there is one person, GTA, he had opted for RCM supplies. Now, is he mandatorily required to take registration? No, not required. So some GTA persons may not take registration now. So for this purpose of E-way bill, they have to get something called trans-in or transporter ID. The concept of trans-in or transporter ID is let us assume there is a GTA and that GTA is exclusively engaged in making RCM supply, thereby is not supposed to take registration and thereby he had not taken registration. But some unique ID should be there, no? So that unique ID is called as a trans-in or transporter ID. Trans-in or transporter ID. Okay. So what is the use of this trans-in or transporter ID? This trans-in or transporter ID can be shared by transporter with his clients who may enter this number while generating E-way bill for assigning goods to him for transportation. Okay, now to make you understand this point, now I have to give you an introduction about EWBG. Okay, EWB01 ka form related I have to give some introduction. Let me discuss that concept once so that you will get good clarity. Look here. See, what is the form that I have said for the E-way bill? EWB01. Okay. This EWB01 consists of two things, part A and part B. Part A and part B. Part A mein what details will be there, na? Simply speaking, whatever the details will be there on the invoice, the same details will be there on the part A. Invoice mein you will be having what? Who is the customer? Who is the supplier? Supplier details, customer details, HSN code, okay, goods ka description, goods value, I mean taxable value, CGST amount, SGST amount, IGST amount. Okay, all these details we will give it in part A of EWB01 E-way bill. Now what is part B? Here comes the actual details. No, E-way bill will be valid for movement of goods only when if you fill both part A as well as part B. Both you have to fill. Sir, part B may what is the new thing, sir? Part B may, so what is the mode of transportation you have opted? So there are three modes of transportation for E-way bill. Okay. So that is the railway, okay, waterway, and road. So road you have selected. Let us assume you have selected roadways. You have selected roadways. Now whenever you have selected roadways, now you have to give the vehicle number here. You have to give the vehicle number. Not only vehicle number, okay, that say for example, in general what can happen was, for example, I am a trader. Let us assume I am running some some goods. I'm involved in doing some goods trading. I'm involved in making some goods trading. Okay. Now what I will do whenever I am, say let us assume I have agreed to supply you some goods, okay, and I said that transportation I only will bear the cost. Transportation I only will bear. You need not to pay anything. So I will directly make the delivery to you. Is what I have said to you. Okay, this is what our agreement. So these kind of things I am doing with all the customers, or it can be done or it cannot be done, or I may be doing only for you, whatever it may be. So here businesses will have an option. Now what option businesses will have now? See, whenever have you ever seen that some showrooms? Some showrooms will have, whenever you purchase any refrigerator, whenever you purchase any washing machine, there they will have their own auto. In that auto, in the truck auto, they will deliver that washing machine or refrigerator at your home. AC, all those things they will deliver at your home. So this is how generally the showrooms will do. Similarly, any trader also, okay, will have what he will have. He will have either a own vehicle, or that own vehicle can be, see, for example, the showroom had kept one vehicle with them. Now again, this vehicle can be own vehicle or can be a leased vehicle. Yes or no? Now I am not talking about this scenario. So this scenario, anyway their vehicle is there. So other scenario, they don't have any vehicle, but they have promised that they will deliver that goods to you. In such scenario, what they will do? They will engage a GTA. They will engage a GTA. Okay now. So they will engage a GTA and they will deliver that goods. Okay now. Now the point is whenever you are engaging a GTA, okay, you don't know, say for example, you are sending your bike or something from Hyderabad to some other place to by GTA. Do you know in which vehicle they will take it? Vehicle number and all you don't know, no? Then if you don't know that vehicle number, how can you give the how can you fill the part B details? Able to understand? Okay. So if I am using my own vehicle, then I will know. Then anyway, I will only fill the part B details. Now, if I am approaching a GTA for transportation of goods, I don't know in which vehicle the GTA will ship the goods. So I can't fill part B. So what I will do, I will only fill part A details. I will only fill part A details and I will generate the E-way bill. Later, I will assign this E-way bill to transporter. For example, no, VRL Logistics Hyderabad is there. I want to avail their services. Okay na? So what I will do, I will fill all the part A details like my customer name, my customer GSTN, no, my details, what is the HSN code, okay, what is the HSN code, what is the description of the goods value, amounts, all details I will fill. Part B details I can't fill. Now part B, what I will do, basically without filling part B details, I will generate the E-way bill and I will assign the E-way bill to VRL Logistics. I will assign this E-way bill to VRL Logistics. Now to assign him, I should have some number, no? Some unique number should be there, no? But this person don't have GSTN. As he is exclusively making RCM supplies, they are not taken GSTN. So some unique number should be there. Now I want to assign him. This E-way bill I want to assign to VRL Logistics. How can I assign? Some unique number should be there to assign. So that is the reason why in such scenarios, this transporter ID or transit code will be helpful. This transporter ID or transit will be helpful. You able to understand? Okay. So anyway, we will once again discuss this aspect. Okay, but as of now, I am trying to give you a brief overview. Okay. Now I will ask you some questions, you try to answer. Okay. I am sending goods. Okay, I am sending goods from my one of my customer is in Panjagutta. We are in SR Nagar. One of my customer is in Panjagutta. He had purchased some goods from me. Okay, that goods as per the agreement I only has to ship to his place. Okay, now tell me the goods value was 1 lakh. 1 lakh worth of goods he had purchased that we have to deliver to his place. Now tell me, but it was very nearby Panjagutta only. No, hardly it is less than 1 kilometer. Now tell me, am I required to generate e-way bill? Why? Here only, no? Still required? Still required? Why? How you are saying? See, when e-way bill is mandatory in such scenario, see, the criteria for generation of e-way bill was, whenever there is a movement of goods, you have to generate e-way bill. Okay, now, sir, distance will it matter? No, distance will not matter. Distance will not matter. Even to the next street you are taking the goods. Even the next street you are taking the goods, you have to generate e-way bill. Okay, now, when, sir, what factors matters for generation of e-way bill? It is not even supply, it is movement. Whenever there is movement of goods, you have to generate e-way bill. Distance doesn't matter. But what matters was, what is the consignment value? Sir, 1000 rupees worth of goods I am transferring, sir. E-way bill required? No, not required. 10,000 rupees goods I am transferring. Movement is, I am initiating the movement. E-way bill required? No, not required. 20,000 not required. 30,000 not required. Okay, look here. Whenever there is a movement of goods of consignment value exceeding 50,000, or once again I am saying, e-way bill requirement will comes whenever there is a movement of goods. That movement need not to be due to supply. See, for example, your godown is in Panjagutta. From Panjagutta you are bringing 10 lakhs worth of goods to here. E-way bill required? 100% required. Okay, na? So e-way bill is required in such scenario also. Okay, na? Whenever there is a movement of goods, e-way bill is definitely required. Whenever there is a movement of good, e-way bill is definitely required. Whenever there is a movement of goods of consignment value exceeding 50,000 in relation to a supply, okay, or for reasons other than supply, due to inward supply from an unregistered person. Okay, now. So, see, tell me one point, e-way bill who has to generate, supplier or recipient? The answer is anyone can generate. Anyone can generate. It need not to be supplier only, it can be generated by the recipient also. Say for example, I am purchasing goods. Okay, I am purchasing goods from an unregistered person. So am I required to generate e-way bill or not? Yes, you are supposed to generate e-way bill. You are registered, no? Supplier is unregistered, but you are registered, no? So you generate e-way bill and okay, bring it. Okay, that's the idea. Okay. See, this will be the e-way bill page. Okay, this is an e-way bill page. So you have to enter your username, password and all. Okay. So once you have entered now, you will be having a generate new under e-way bill option. Okay, you have to click on generate new. The major point is here only. See, if you observe transaction type, outward inward is there. See, there will be transaction type and there will be subtype also. There will be a transaction type and there will be a subtype. Now in transaction type, if you observe, there it is showing outward as well as inward. It is showing outward as well as inward. Now whenever you are, say for example, you are a supplier, you are sending goods to your customer, then you are generating e-way bill, then you have to select outward option. You are a recipient, okay, But supplier said that no, I will not generate the e-way bill. You only have to generate the e-way bill is what supplier had said. Then you are generating e-way bill. Then you have to select inward option. You able to understand? Now again, after selecting outward and inward, again if you observe, see, there are sub-classifications, subcategories. See, for example, whenever you are purchasing goods or whenever you are supplying goods to your customer, whenever you are supplying goods to your customer, what you will do? You will select this outward option, and in subtype, you will select supply option. See, the criteria for generation of e-way bill was movement. It is not supply. Thereby, even if you are bringing goods from your godown, or even if you are sending goods from sale or approval basis, or even if you are sending goods for job work purpose, in all these scenarios, you have to generate e-way bill. That is the reason why, see, export, job work, SKD, CKD, recipient unknown, for own use, exhibition or fairs, line sales, others. See, if it is a supply category, if e-way bill is required only in a scenario where when supply is required, they would have given only supply option. No, why they would have given all these things? Because the reason, the triggering point or the initiating point for e-way bill generation was movement of goods. Movement of goods means taking the goods from one place to another place. Sir, from this street I am taking it to next street, sir. E-way bill required? Yes, required, because movement is there. But the only factor you have to check was what is the value of the consignment. Consignment value above 50,000 or below 50,000. Consignment value not exceeded 50,000, sir, then not required. Consignment value exceeded 50,000, then required. Able to understand? Okay, na? కంగారు పడదు, ఇంకా చాలా ఉంది అసలు. ఓకే, చాలా స్టోరీ ఉంది ఇంకా ఈ-వే బిల్లో. ఓకే, see subtypes, see these are the different subtypes. Okay na? Now here, see, now after giving transaction type and after giving subtype, what are the other details you have to fill in e-way bill? See, from to, from means from which place and to which place you are taking. Okay na? See, if supplier is see whether the movement is get initiated by supplier or recipient, this will not change, because the sending place and the receiving place, origin place and the destination place will be same. No, it won't change because of no supplier is initiating the movement or recipient is initiating the movement. Based on that factors, this will not change. So from who, GSTN, address, to name, GSTN. Okay, and product name, description, HSN, quantity, unit, value, taxable supply, tax rates, all these things you have to give. See, all these details you have to fill. This is what part A. Okay na? See, this is what part B ka details. Part B ka details you will fill like this. See, up to here, by giving here na, part A will be completed. By giving here, part A will be completed. Okay, transporter details. See, the mode of transportation, road, rail, ship, air, and the approximate distance covered need to be compulsory mentioned in this part. In this part means this B part, e-way bill part B. Apart from above, either of these details can be mentioned: transporter name, transporter ID, transporter documentation and date. See, transporter ID it is asking, no. If transporter is having GSTN, fine. If transporter GSTN is not there, they will be having a transporter ID. That transporter ID we have to give. Vehicle number in which consignment is being transported. So see, road I have to select transporter name, transporter ID, transport documentation, okay, approximate distance and vehicle number. Okay na? Click on submit button, then e-way bill will be generated. This is how it will look, e-way bill. See, this is a QR code. This is a QR code. GSTN of the recipient, part B, vehicle details. See, vehicle number, road, from, entered, when, where it is going to be. Okay na? This is how it will look like. This is how it will look like. Okay na? Just for your clarification, I brought this. Okay, can we proceed? Now we will go to conceptual aspects. Now you got some rough idea now about e-way bill and all, so you will get more clarity when we discuss all these concepts in the class also. The registered person who causes such movement of goods shall furnish the information relating to the said goods as specified in Part A of Form GST EWB01 before commencement of such movement. It is important to note that information is to be furnished prior to the commencement of movement of goods, and it is to be issued whether the movement is in relation to a supply or for other than supply. Now, who causes movement of goods? Okay. If supplier is registered and undertakes to transport the goods, movement of goods is caused by the supplier. If recipient arranges transportation, movement is caused by him. If goods are supplied by an unregistered person to a registered recipient, movement shall said to be caused by the recipient. Able to understand? If supplier is registered and he undertakes the transportation of goods, then supplier is causing the movement. Okay. If recipient arranges the transportation, then recipient is causing the movement. If goods are supplied by an unregistered supplier to the registered recipient, okay, then who is causing the movement? Registered recipient is causing the movement. Okay, now able to understand? Now, what is meant by consignment value? We said no, consignment value we have to consider consignment value exceeding 50,000 or not exceeding 50,000. If consignment value exceeding 50,000, then E-way bill is required, is what we have discussed. If consignment value not exceeding 50,000, E-way bill not required. It is not mandatory. Now, what is consignment value then? That is important now. Look here. See, determined in accordance with the provisions of section 15. What is section 15 of CGST Act? Very good, not reading. Okay. Value of supply. Okay. Next, declared in an value of goods determined in accordance with the provisions of section 15, declared in an invoice, a bill of supply or a delivery challan as the case may be, also includes the central tax, state tax, shall include value of exempt supply where the invoice is issued in respect of both. Simply speaking, I can say that your invoice value only. Okay, if you observe, value of goods determined in accordance with section 15, that is value of supply. For that, what you are adding? You are adding taxes. See, value of supply plus taxes means what? Invoice value only, no? But it should exclude value of exempt supply where invoice in respect of both exempted and taxable supply of goods. Okay, look at this example. Banu Pratap shoe manufacturers registered in Punjab sold shoes to a retail seller in Gujarat at a value of rupees 48,000 excluding GST. Okay, now including GST, how much it became? 56,640. Tell me, E-way bill required or not required? E-way bill required because consignment value is no. We have to consider both taxable value as well as taxes. Since the movement of goods is in relation to supply of goods and the consignment value exceeds 50,000, E-way bill is mandatorily required to be issued. Okay. Now there is some scenario where E-way bill is mandatorily to be done. Even then, okay, the consignment value is below 50,000. Special situations where E-way bill needs to be issued even if the value of consignment is less than 50,000. Where handicraft goods are transported from one state or union territory to another state or union territory by a person who has been exempted from the requirement of obtaining registration, the E-way bill shall be generated by the said person irrespective of the value of the consignment. You will understand. So where handicraft goods are transferred from one state to another state by a person who has been exempted from the requirement of obtaining registration. See, we all know in registration chapter we have learned. Okay, interstate transportation, if you are making, generally if you are making interstate transportation of goods, you are mandatorily able to take registration. But interstate transportation of notified and handicraft goods up to 20 lakhs, you are having that benefit, no? No, that person, okay, the E-way bill should be generated. So see, look here, by a person who has been exempted from requirement of obtaining registration, the E-way bill shall be generated by the said person irrespective of the value of the consignment. Okay, na? Next one, E-way bill in case of bill to ship to model. E-way bill in case of bill to ship to model. Now, how who will generate E-way bill in bill to ship to model? What is the special point here in E-way bill? What is the unique point in E-way bill? Billing will be done to one person, shipment will be done to one person. No? So in such scenario, how to generate the E-way bill? Okay, now that we will see. In a bill to ship to model of supply, there are three persons involved in a transaction. Namely, A is the person who has ordered. C, A is the person who had ordered goods to B. Okay, ordered B to send goods directly to C. Now B is the person who is sending goods directly to C on behalf of A. C is the recipient of goods. In this complete scenario, two supplies are involved. What are the two supplies? Between A and B and between A and C. A and B is one transaction, okay, and A and C is another transaction. Okay, now. So it is clarified that as per CGST rules, for the movement of goods which is taking place from B to C, for the movement of goods which is taking place from B to C. The B to C, there is no any transaction happening. Transaction is happening between, transaction if you observe, transaction is only between A and B, A and C. But the movement is happening between B and C. Now here movement is being caused now. Okay, for that E-way bill is required or not? So who has to generate E-way bill? That aspect we are discussing. It is clarified that as per CGST rules, for the movement which is being taking place from B to C on behalf of A, either A or B can generate the E-way bill, but it may be noted that only one E-way bill is required to be generated. See what the point can come here was, now who is causing the movement? B is causing the movement, but who is the supplier of that goods? A. So there is a question that whether A has to generate or whether B has to generate. Now what clarification they have given? See, A or B, any one can generate. Both need not to generate. Only one person generating the E-way bill will be sufficient. Okay, look here. So it is clarified that as per CGST rules, for the movement of goods which is taking place from B to C on behalf of A, either A or B can generate the E-way bill. But it is to be noted that only one E-way bill is required to be generated. This was clarified through a press release. Have you got the clarity? Okay, now. So for the supply happened between A to C, now B is causing the movement. So transaction may, there are three persons involved. A is there, C is there, and B is also there. Now the supply is happening between A and C, but movement is happening between B and C. Thereby the question arises that who has to generate the E-way bill? So there they are saying A can generate, B also can generate. Anyone generating is also fine. Both need not to generate, only one generating is fine. Clear now? Okay, right. Next one, information to be furnished in E-way bill. Okay, EWB01 consisting of two parts, part A and part B. Already I have said no. Now part A comprising of details of GST and of supplier and recipient, place of delivery, documents, tax invoice number, delivery challan, okay, value of goods, HSN code, reasons for transportation, okay, who is causing the movement. So transportation, part B may transport details, transporter document number, railway receipt number, airway bill number, bill of lading number, vehicle number, okay, all these things has to be, person who is transporting the goods has to fill these details. Okay. However, information in part A may be furnished by the transporter on an authorization received from such registered person or by the e-commerce operator or a courier agency when the goods to be transported are supplied through such an e-commerce operator or a courier agency on an authorization received from the consignor. Once the consignor or consignee enters all the details in part A of E-way bill, a part A slip is generated which contains a temporary reference number. This slip can be shared with the transporter or used by the supplier himself later to enter the details in part B of E-way bill and generate the E-way bill. So what they are saying? See, once the consignor or consignee, for example, I want to send goods to Agastya. Okay, na? He is in Bangalore. He is in Nellore. I am in Hyderabad. Okay. So from Hyderabad, the goods has to be sent to Nellore. Now what I will do? Who is the consignor here? I am the consignor. Who is consignee? He is the consignee. Okay. Now what I will do? Part A ka details I will fill directly na. Part A ka details I will fill. All the details in part A of e-way bill can and I can fill, and I will generate a slip. So part A slip is generated which contains a temporary number. Temporary reference number will be there. This slip can be shared with the transporter. I will give it to the transporter. Okay. So now what transporter will do? Transporter are used by the supplier himself later to enter the details in part A of e-way bill and generate the e-way bill. The part A slip is not valid for movement. It is only a temporary reference number. Okay, na? That is not valid for causing movement. You will come to know the more uses of part A once we go for further discussions. Okay. This will be useful when supplier has prepared invoice relating to its business transaction but does not have the transporter details. Generating part A and all, when it will be useful? When supplier has prepared invoice but doesn't have the transportation details. Thus he can enter invoice details in part A of e-way bill and kept it ready for entering the details of mode of transportation in part B of e-way bill. Once the goods are ready for movement from the business premises and transportation details are known, then user can enter the part B details and generate the e-way bill for movement of goods. E-way bill can be generated only after entering the details of part B. You able to understand? So part A में details I will fill and I will keep it ready. The moment I will come to know about the transportation का vehicle details and all, then I will enter the details in part B and I will generate the e-way bill which will be valid for causing the movement. You able to understand? Right? Okay. So 2 minutes up to here, whatever we have discussed, just go through it. Next one. Who is mandatorily required to generate e-way bill? E-way bill is to be generated by the consignor or consignee himself if the transportation is being done in own or hired vehicle. See, they are having their own vehicle. That can be a own vehicle or that can be a hired vehicle. Okay. In such scenario, they have to know if the transportation is being done by them own or hired vehicle, or in any other by using any GTA services also, they have to generate e-way bill, or by railways or by air or by vessel. If the goods are handed over to a transporter for transportation by road, e-way bill is to be generated by the transporter. Okay na? If I have handed over the goods to a transporter, then e-way bill is to be generated by the transporter. Where neither the consignor nor consignee generates the e-way bill and the value of goods is more than rupees 50,000, it shall be the responsibility of the transporter to generate it. So what they are saying, when it is mandatory, simply speaking, nothing. Idanta em kadu. The important point here was, whenever the consignment value is more than 50,000, e-way bill generation is mandatory. Okay na? E-way bill, you have to generate e-way bill. Okay. Now the point is, sir, supplier consignor not generated e-way bill, consignee also not generated e-way bill, then transporter has to generate. నీ ట్రక్ లో ఉన్న ప్రతి గూడ్ కి ఈవే బిల్ జనరేట్ అయ్యిందా లేదా, గూడ్స్ కి ఈవే బిల్ జనరేట్ అయ్యిందా లేదా చూసుకోవాల్సిన రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ మీదే. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై ఎనీ బిజినెస్ పర్సన్ whenever they are transferring goods, whenever they are transporting the goods by using any GTA services and all, what that GTA person will do, if e-way bill has been generated, then only they will accept, otherwise they will not accept, or otherwise they will ensure that e-way bill has been generated at least by themselves. So what they are saying, if you are transferring it through road, you have to generate e-way bill. Either you or either the recipient, you mean supplier or recipient or transporter. If you are transferring it through rail, then also e-way bill required. Okay, air or vessel, then also e-way bill is required. Okay, now in all these scenarios, e-way bill is required. Generating e-way bill is mandatory, subject to the condition that consignment value is more than 50,000. Okay. Sir, no one generated, sir. Neither consignor generated, consignee also generated. Now you being a transporter, you generate it. Okay, that is what they have said. Look here. where the goods are transported by a registered person, whether as consignor or recipient as the consignee. Whether the goods are transported by a registered person, whether as consignor or recipient as the consignee. Okay. Now what they are saying, the said person shall have to generate the e-way bill. The said person should have to generate the e-way bill by furnishing information in part B on the common portal. Next one, where the e-way bill is not generated by the registered person. E-way bill is not generated by the registered person and the goods are handed over to the transporter for transportation of goods by road. Now tell me, in this scenario, who will generate the e-way bill? The registered person shall furnish the information relating to the transporter in part B on the common portal and the e-way bill shall be generated by the transporter. What they said, the registered person shall furnish the information relating to the transporter in part B on the common portal and the e-way bill shall be generated by the transporter on the said portal on the basis of the information furnished by the registered person in part A. The transporter has to fill part B and generate the e-way bill based on the information submitted by the consignor in part A. Where the goods are transported by railways or by air or by vessel, the e-way bill shall be generated by the registered person being the supplier or the recipient, who shall either before or after the commencement of movement furnish information in part B. So what they are saying, the e-way bill shall be generated by the registered person who shall either before or after the commencement of movement furnish information in part B. Now in case of railway, what I will do now, I will give railway receipt number. Vehicle number will not be there, railway receipt number we will enter there. Okay na? So further, that's why what they have said, either before or after the commencement of movement, either before or after the commencement of the movement you can generate e-way bill. You able to understand all the scenarios that we have discussed today? Okay. So this is a first scenario where goods are transported by a registered person, whether as consignor or recipient as the consignee. Okay. Transported by a registered person. So what they have said, who has to generate? Said person shall have to generate the e-way bill. Okay. Now where e-way bill is not generated by the registered person and the goods are handed over to the transporter for transportation of goods by road, then who has to generate e-way bill? Transporter has to generate the e-way bill by filling part B and by filling part B. Okay, he has to generate. See, look here. The registered person shall furnish the information relating to the transporter in part B on the common portal and the e-way bill shall be generated by the transporter on the said portal on the basis of the information furnished by the registered person in part A. Okay, whatever the information that registered person has been given in part A, by using that information he has to fill part B and he has to generate e-way bill. Okay, where goods are transported by railways, there is no requirement to carry e-way bill along with the goods, but railways has to carry invoice or delivery challan or bill of supply as the case may be along with the goods. Further, e-way bill generated for the movement is required to be produced at the time of delivery of the goods. Railway shall not deliver goods unless the e-way bill required under rules is produced at the time of delivery. What they are saying? Can anyone tell me? What they are saying? The railway, they are saying that there is no requirement to carry e-way bill along with the goods. No, you need not to give it to the train guard and all, this e-way bill what you have generated. But railways has to carry invoice or delivery challan or bill of supply. Okay, that we will provide. But what is the use of e-way bill here then? Further, e-way bill generated for the movement is required to be produced at the time of delivery of the goods. At the time of delivery, definitely how to produce the e-way bill. Railway shall not deliver the goods unless e-way bill required under rules is produced at the time of delivery. Now you are sending goods to your customer. Now your customer has to show the e-way bill at the time. Then only railways will deliver the goods. Otherwise, railways will not deliver the goods. So see, for whenever you are transferring the goods through road, so from the initiation of the movement till the reaching the destination, e-way bill should be there. But for railways, e-way will not required during the course of the movement, because no department officials can check the railway goods vehicle and all. What is the goods involved in it, whether e-way bill is there, all these things no one will check. But in railway, when e-way bill is required, e-way bill is required at the time of delivery. At the time of delivery, they will ask you to submit e-way bill. At that time, you have to submit e-way bill. Okay, na? That is the intention. ఎవరన్నా జనరేట్ చేయొచ్చు, అప్పుడు రిసిపియంట్ జనరేట్ చేసుకోమనొచ్చు, లేదా మీరు జనరేట్ చేసి రిసిపియంట్ కైనా పంపించవచ్చు. The registered person or the transporter may at his option generate and carry the e-way bill even if the value of the consignment is less than 50,000. Even if the consignment value is less than 50,000. Now voluntary registration concept is there now. Similarly, even the consignment value is less than 50,000, I want to generate e-way bill. Okay, generate. Who will stop you? Where the movement is caused by an unregistered person, either in his own conveyance or hired one or through a transporter, he or the transporter may at their option generate the e-way bill. So what I have said, where the movement is caused by an unregistered person, either in his own conveyance or hired one or through a transporter, he or the transporter may at this option generate the e-way bill. Okay. Where the goods are supplied by an unregistered supplier to a recipient who is registered. So the movement shall be said to be caused by the recipient if the recipient is known at the time of commencement. Okay. So these are the aspects. These are not much important points. Okay, but simple points that we have to understand. No. This is important. This is important. When it is not mandatory to furnish the details of conveyance in part B. When it is not mandatory to furnish the details of conveyance in part B. E-way bill is valid for movement of goods by road only when information in part B is furnished. But there is an exception. What is that exception? Details of conveyance may not be furnished in part B of the e-way bill when the goods are transported for a distance of up to 50 kilometers within the state or union territory. Okay. From the place of business of the consignor to the place of business of the transporter for further transportation, or from the place of business of the transporter finally to the place of business of the consignee. See, what they are saying was, I said no, e-way bill will consist of part A and part B. The moment you fill part A details and you generate e-way bill, you will get a temporary reference number. With that temporary reference number, what they are saying now, you can take the goods up to a distance of 50 kilometers within the state or union territory. Within the state or union territory, up to 50 kilometers, you can take that goods. With only part A, without part B, with the part A, you can take it up to 50 kilometers within the state or union territory. Okay, for what purpose? From the place of business of the consignor to the place of business of transporter for further transportation. For example, I only is there. No, I want to send some goods to some of my customer. Some goods to my customer. Okay. Now the courier office to which or the transporter office to which I want to give the goods na, that was 10 kilometers away. That was 10 kilometers away. So what I have to generate was, first I have to generate e-way bill part A with the temporary reference number. With the e-way bill I can take the goods from my place to the transporter office. Once it reaches a transporter office, again part B has to be generated. Now with the part A, sir, part A, see what I have said earlier, part A, e-way bill with the part A is not valid for movement is what I have said now. But there is an exception. What are that exceptions? See, why they provided that exception na? In some cases, to take it up to the transporter place also I have to make a separate transportation. Transporter office need not to be always beside me or adjacent to me. I have to travel some distance. In meantime, if anyone intercepted the vehicle, then what? So then I can say that, sir, part A I have already generated. I am taking it to the transporter premises. Okay. Once I reach the transporter office, there they will update the details and they will generate the full e-way bill. That you can explain. Or from the place of business of the transporter finally to the place of business of the consignee. Consignee place very nearby only it is there. Thereby I will generate with part A and I will deliver the goods. Okay, na? Able to understand or not? Okay. Next one, unique e-way bill number. Upon generation of the e-way bill on the common portal, a unique e-way bill number shall be made available to the supplier, the recipient and the transporter on the common portal. Okay. Next concept, this is again important. Transfer of goods from one conveyance to another. From one truck you are transferring it to another truck. One lorry to another lorry, or one van to another van. Can I do it? That is the discussion here. Where the goods are transferred from one conveyance to another, the consigner or the recipient who has provided information in part A or the transporter shall, before such a transfer and further movement, update the details of conveyance in part B. See, for example, you are taking goods from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. Hyderabad to Vijayawada, you are taking the goods. Okay, na? In a truck called AP 16 TB 4545. Okay, this is the vehicle number. Okay, na? Now you are transferring the goods. In meantime, somewhere around, somewhere nearby Suryapet, this vehicle got this truck got breakdown. What will happen? The transporter will should have to arrange another vehicle. No? So now what they are trying to say was, before you are, see, from this truck, another truck came. They have arranged another truck. Then another truck details was like, this is the another truck details. Now first what I will do, I will unload the goods from this truck and I will load it in this goods in this truck, and then I will start my further journey. Now what they are saying was, before such a transfer, before this transfer of goods from this truck to this truck and further movement, what I have to do, I have to update the details of conveyance in part B. Part B la vehicle number I have to update, I have to change it. Okay na? Consignment of goods may be required to be transferred from the original conveyance due to unforeseen existence like breakdown of the vehicle. In such case, the transporter transferring goods from one conveyance to another in the course of transit shall, before such a transfer and further movement, update the details of the conveyance. In some cases, consignments are transported by the transporter to transshipment. See, not only breakdown, sometimes I may change vehicle also. Multiple vehicles involvement may be used. Okay, now. Then also I have to update the details for carrying the same consignment before it is delivered to the recipient. Hence, for each movement from one place to another, the transporter need to update the vehicle number in which he is transporting that consignment in part B of the E-way bill. The user can update part B as many times as he wants. This is an important point. Part B details now I can change any number of times. There is no any restriction on it. Okay. However, the updating should be done within the validity period. E-way bill will have a separate validity period. Within that validity period only you have to update the vehicle number. How many times? See, there is no any limit of number of times you change, but that number of times has to be done within the validity. Once validity happens, no, you can't change it. There can also be a case where one E-way bill can go through multiple modes of transportation before reaching destination. Like for example, you are transferring goods from you want to bring goods from Rajahmundry to Hyderabad. Okay, what you have done was, from Rajahmundry to Bhadrachalam, you brought it through waterways, Godavari river. By using Godavari river, you have thought. From Bhadrachalam again truck to Hyderabad. Multi-mode transportation is used. Okay, so multi-mode transportation before reaching. As per the mode of transportation, the EWB can be updated. So from here to here it is water transport. From here to here it is road. So part B details you can change any number of times. There is no any restriction. That is what they are saying. Now look at that example. Babal Associates is moving the goods from Cochin to Chandigarh through road, ship, air and road again. First, Babal and Associates generate the E-way bill by generating first stage of movement from its place to shipyard and enters the vehicle number. Next, it will submit the goods to shipyard and update the modes of transportation as ship and transport document number on E-way bill. Later, after reaching Mumbai, Babal Associates or concerned transportation update movements as road from shipyard to airport, road from shipyard to airport with vehicle number. Therefore, Babal Associates or transfer updating using update vehicle number option on the portal, the E-way bill number. Again, after reaching Delhi, Babal Associates update movements through road with vehicle number. This way the e-way bill will be updated with multiple modes of transportation. Okay, now clear? Quickly go through it. After that we will look at the another aspects also. So just go through it. Any doubts you can ask me.